Hi there, Jason again from FG4K, and we are on to lesson number 13. We're going to introduce a few new picking ideas, starting with what's called a boom chuck kind of pattern. And if you hum it out, boom chuck, that's what it should sound like basically on the guitar. So I can take any chord and do this concept with it. I'm going to start with an E chord, very, very common. So the boom is going to be sort of this lowest note of the chord. We'll start with that. It doesn't have to be, but we'll start with that. So this is, and then we get the chuck, which is at the rest of the chord. This is a very classic style picking. You hear Johnny Cash do it. You'll hear pretty much every band that you can think of will be using this in some way, shape, or form. But a very common idea is just one other variation on that you might see is alternating between your boom notes. So if my boom is here one time, I can hit this one the next time, so I might get this. And here I'm using my fingers to pick the strings as well, so you could use the pick or the fingers. So the idea for you, though, is to take any chord and just start by hitting the bass note and then the rest of the chord. Now, when I say the rest of the chord, that doesn't mean you have to hit everything. So you don't need to hit this string and then the other 5 strings. You could hit 2, 3 strings. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes it leaves a little more space sonically to not hit everything. Right? That just starts to sound kind of sloppy. So a very, very good modern example of this concept is Hey There Delilah, a really cool acoustic tune by Plain White T's. So I won't explain it because it's written down for you, but here's what it looks like. You could do this a couple different ways. You can use your pick to hit the boom part and your fingers to hit the chuck, or you could just use your thumb for the boom and your fingers for the chuck, just like that. So I'll just use fingers for the whole thing, so it'll look like this. And so on and so on. So next thing we're going to learn is called Travis picking, named after the person that really developed it, Merle Travis. Okay, it's a fairly simple concept, but you can get a lot of mileage out of it. And we'll just take another chord. We'll say E again. Now the idea is it's an alternating pattern between your thumb and one of your fingers, or more of your fingers. No real set rule that way. But we're going to go, it's usually basically a 4-note pattern to start anyway. So we're going to say, we'll hit string, we're going to hold down our E chord, and we'll hit the bass note, say string number 6 with our thumb, and then the first other note we'll hit will be the index finger. And then we'll go to string number 5 with the thumb, and then string number 2. So we're going to go thumb, index, thumb, middle. So a lot of times you get this alternating bass sound with these notes in between. There's no particular rules about which strings you hit. So if I want to do this E chord and instead of these strings, I could just utilize those 4 strings and go like this. Now the only thing that you'll notice maybe that's a little bit different is that this breaks the rules of our standard picking where we go thumb, 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 index, middle, ring, because no matter what in this Travis picking, on these two thumb notes, or the two bass notes, no matter what string they're on, I'm still going to use my thumb. So in this case, my thumb was going from string number 4 to string number 3, but I'm still going to use my thumb for string number 3, even though we know we should technically use our index finger. So it looks like this. Or so there's really countless examples of how this can be utilized. Very popular one would be Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Another really popular one and very famous one would be Dust in the Wind by Kansas. This provides a little bit of a variation on the Travis picking, but the vast majority of it is just straight Travis picking. But here's what it looks like. The only real difference is that you'll notice we have two notes played together to start. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and then I'll play through the riff. And it goes on in the rest of the song. So those are really good examples of Travis picking. But like I said, there's a nearly infinite list of songs that utilize Travis picking. So feel free to experiment on your own, make up your own things, and that's probably half the fun of this sort of stuff. But practice those to get warmed up into it and have fun.